Good morning. Thank you for having us today. We are going to talk about a little bit about investigation and panel of physicians, but first of all, I did want to tell you that I reached out to my team to ask if there was any feedback they could give me regarding the Department of Health and our relationship, and I just want to say that everyone thinks that we have a very good, solid working relationship, and we appreciate everything you do to make that easier for us. So, but a couple things to make our relationship even better is that next to the employer's accident reports, that probably the next most important information we could receive from you is the panel of physicians. And as you know, the employer has the duty. You're looking at me like you don't know what that is.
I didn't hear what you said.
A panel of physicians.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
As you know, the employer has the duty to provide a panel of physicians when an injured worker is injured. And then when we receive that information, first of all, provides us who the physician is, especially if we can't get a hold of you or the injured worker right away. That piece of paper tells us what doctor they saw, and that we can reach out to them to get the medical records. We can authorize medication if we need to, but it gives us the information we need to go ahead and start that investigation. We also, in regards to photos and information about the scene, now I'm going to let you go ahead and talk a little bit about the investigation, what we need, and why that's important.
Yeah, obviously, when a claim is received in our office, it is assigned to one of the benefit coordinators, depending on if it's a lost time claim, meaning that the individual has been out of work longer than 7 days or anticipated to be so, or just a medical-only claim, meaning they hurt themselves, they went to the doctor, and now they're back at work. In regards to photos, in a case of a slip and fall, it is obviously quite important to obtain that photo. As the benefit coordinator, we can talk to the individual and get a description of the area or the scene of what took place. But obviously, you know, if it's a slip and fall in water, or if there's some type of defect to the area, the photo will help support that. Of course, it's very important to get that photo taken as soon as possible, because certainly water dries up, stuff gets moved, and the scene can be rearranged, thus making it a little bit more difficult to complete the investigation of the claim. And then in regards to the panel that Sherry was talking about, it's also very important for you guys to get that in as soon as possible, not only so we can have it for the investigation process, but also if a claim, if a claim is found not compensable, there are certain criteria that a claim can meet which would allow for it to pay for medical treatment through the date of denial. And one of those criteria is that we must have a copy of the panel of physicians form in our file at the time that we make the recommendation for the denial. In addition, for us to consider paying medical treatment, obviously the person would have had to have been seen by the panel doctor. So it is quite important just to get them in as soon as possible. And again, I just want to follow up on Sherry. I know in my personal experience I have noticed great improvement with getting requested information from the Department of Health, which has certainly helped me in my area in helping getting that claim moving forward and getting that individual the necessary medical treatment or reimbursement of lost time that they need. And from my aspect, I greatly appreciate it. And again, I spoke with my colleagues, and they wanted me to express the same, that they really do appreciate the effort of getting us requested information in a timely manner. It's really helping us a lot. So thank you.
And again, if you ever have any questions or need to talk about a claim or a possible claim, feel free to call me anytime. Call now, and we'll help you walk through that. The quicker we hear about the claim and can give you some advice, usually it gets that person back to work a little faster or ends the treatment a little quicker. So, always feel free to give us a call if you need anything. So, any questions?
Yeah, do we have any questions from the field? And would you identify yourself when you ask the question, please?
Yeah, question? I wanted to add one more thing about the panels, if I could.
Okay.
Just one other little tidbit of information about contacting us and about panel of physician forms. All of our state employees, we only have 4.5 state employees that manage a program that runs around $60 million a year. All of our
information, as well as all of the MCI staff information, is available on the website that's hosted by MCI, and that website is www.covwc.com. You'll also see other interesting information on that webpage, including, how to print off a card for your employee to take to the pharmacy. Jack Sullivan, who's the Director of Loss Control, is just launching Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook accounts to do with workplace safety. That information will be out there shortly if it isn't already. But what I wanted to also tell you was we have a return to work unit who's available to you to help you with panels. I know sometimes that there's a little bit of a challenge with, getting a valid panel. Latarsha McMahon is the return to work specialist. She is a state employee on our team, and she works with BDH, and she's available to help you. Her phone number is on the website, and I will also give you the phone number if you want to jot it down, but she's also available to help construct valid panels. Her number is in Richmond, and it's 804-786-2310, and of course, contact any of us, anyone on the MCI or the state team, if there's anything we can do to help you, to make your life easier. If you have any questions, we're glad to help. So thank you again.
Christy, I had one question.
Okay.
One question from me.
Okay.
You talked about the SHRM training.
Yes.
And there still will be a cost involved with that?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. And how would people make payments if they're remote?
Okay. They have to send in their check in advance.
Okay.
If the agency's willing to pay for it, we can do IATs. If the person is taking it for their own education, they can send in a personal check. Because Bob is a contractor and because this really doesn't have anything to do with workers' comp, it's a service that we offer.
Mm-hmm.
Similar, Bob also teaches the evacuation training for all the Capitol Complex buildings, because that really isn't a workers' comp function either. What we have to do is to cover his time,
right,
to provide the service. So that's what the fee covers, is Bob's time and the time of John Carpenter, who helps him run the iLink. And then if you don't have to buy the books, it's just the fee. If you have to buy the books, then we also need a check for the books in advance, because we have to order them and get them shipped out to distance learners. The ones that are taking it in Richmond, of course, would just come to class and get their books. Unfortunately, after many, many years of even though the books have gone up over the years, they have always given us a price break. They are still giving us a price break, but they are going up about $60 this year that we have to pass along, okay, unfortunately. But, it's still, I priced it out for one of my employees before we had Bob at University of Richmond, and I believe it was in the neighborhood of $1,600 to take it out of university. And our fee, is maybe half or a little more of that. So we try to hold the cost down as best we can and just get back our costs for the time of the instructor.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us, everyone.
Can you repeat the website, please?
Certainly.
Can you repeat the website address? You said it too fast.
Certainly. Sure. Are you ready? It's www.covwc.com. And that's hosted by MCI. It's got all kinds of information available, and it has, a library of safety articles on it. It's got information on all the staff and how to reach us, phone numbers. Has information on, panel physicians. It has links to our PPO network. It has all kinds of information out on that website that are available to you. So if you've never been out there before, go out and take a peek and cruise around on the site. You might find some interesting things and some helpful things out there.
Very good.
Okay?
Again, thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much. And we're
My business card.
Thank you.
I'm going to head back for my next meeting.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.